Bitchin Bobby here, and today we are doing baby back ribs. 2 racks, 2 different styles. I'm doing a Florida style rib and I'm doing a maple bourbon glaze rib. So let's go ahead and prep up some ribs. Get the membranes off these ribs. Butter knife right underneath. Pull it back. Get up underneath it. And just like so. First rack we are prepping is for the maple bourbon glaze. We'll be using mustard as our binder on this one. We're using Sassy Q's sweet barbecue rub, local Floridian stuff. Okay, the second rack is the Florida ribs. This one, olive oil binder. Be using a little Sassy Q's jalapeno honey. Some Deacon Daddle key lime rub. Okay, the racks got the rub on them. I'm going to leave them on the counter and get them up to room temperature. Sauces for these racks. For the maple bourbon glaze, it is my own homemade maple bourbon glaze that I made this morning. Check my other videos. And for the Florida ribs, we are doing Tobago Keys Peruvian Gold grilling sauce. Screaming Florida, all local. Let's get her done.
Okay, for my wood choice today, I have some chunks and some chips of some old whiskey barrels. That's what we'll be using today. That should be enough of the whiskey barrel wood for this smoke. All right, I'm about 225. I just done dropped both racks of ribs on the egg. Thought I'd have to cut them down, but I got them to fit. See y'all in about an hour to bathe them. We are at the 1 hour mark. Let's open it up to see if it needs to be spritzed. Ooh, they are looking pretty. Maple bourbons and that Florida looking lovely. I'll go ahead and wet her down just a little bit here. Any dry spots, take care of that. All right, 2 hour mark. My egg is kind of struggling because it started pouring on it. But let's see if I need some water on these bad boys.
Oof. We are at the 3 hour mark. Go ahead and look at these. At the bourbon ribs, we got the Florida ribs. Let's show you how I'm going to wrap each one of these. Spritz down the paper. Okay, that's good and wet. Let's do the bourbon ribs first. We'll set that right about there. Now, for the bourbon ribs, put 4 pads of butter right on top of the rack. I'm going to sprinkle some dark brown sugar right on top. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I wrap these. Come in tight right there. Get it tight. Get it right. Wrap it. Once you fold it, just like so. Make sure we get all the air out of this. Pull it back. Again. And that's wrapped. Florida rack up next. Whew, that smells so good. Same thing. Doing 4 pads of butter. That Peruvian Gold that we're going to finish them with is going to get a little bit on it now. Start taking the flavor. Just a little pour. Now, these 2 racks, they're going back on the egg for another 2 hours before I even think about basting them. I want them nice, juicy, tender, fall off the bone, baby back ribs. Okay, it is time to pull the ribs out of the wrap. Go ahead and open up the Floridas first. Look at these. You see the bend on that? Look at these ribs. Woo, Florida going back on the grill. Here is the maple bourbon rack. Same thing. Good bend on them. We'll put them back on another hour.
Little trick to the Florida ribs right there. 40 minutes left. I'm going to drop some limes on there and get them smoked.
It's time to start glazing. Look at those beauties. That Florida rib, that bourbon maple. Let's go ahead and glaze them on up. Let's go ahead and do Florida Gold first. Grab these ribs, sure I don't break them. Give them a good flip. Peruvian Florida Gold local sauce. Arms back on top. Continue the smoking process with those. Now, the Maple Bourbon Glazed made by yours truly, Bitchin Bobby. Another 30 minutes. I'll check them in 10, see if they need more glaze or how they're looking so I don't burn them. But that is what we are working with. Delicious. I am back in the kitchen. The ribs are done. We have here our Florida rack of ribs. Look at that. Oof. And our maple bourbon glaze. They are ready to fall apart. Let's go ahead and cut into these mugs and see what they're looking like. Ooh. Look at the color on that rib. Look at the juiciness of that rib. Whew. Let's go ahead and give the maple bourbon a shot. Mm. Mm. Oh, that is a good rib. Let's check out these Floridas. Ooh, they are fall off the bone. Super juicy. Look at the smoke ring. Look at the smoke. Let's go ahead and give these Florida ribs a shot. Mm. That is so good. It's that time of night. It is time for Bobby to eat. So please like and subscribe. Bitchin Bobby's Backyard Eat.